wait.
Okay, thank you very much. Bonsoir. Welcome to the press conference following the Foreign Affairs Council and also the Foreign Affairs Council defense that took place this morning. The High Representative will brief you on the discussions and then we will open the floor for questions. High Representative, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everybody. We had a very intense day. So first we started with the Foreign Affairs Council on Defense, and then we had the Foreign Ministers when we are discussing a wide range of topics. 4 points. First, the first discussion on Ukraine. Our top priority remains a full and unconditional ceasefire. Ukraine agreed to it over 60 days ago already, but instead of seeking peace, Russia is still playing games. And Russia has escalated its attacks. The only option is to put more pressure on Russia to negotiate seriously. Today we adopted another sanctions package, and this package is also targeting Moscow's shadow fleet, among others. And we also had the discussion, we had David O'Sullivan and we had also Daniel Markic showing how the sanctions are affecting Russia's economy. So the impact of Russia's economy of the sanctions is significant, and they hamper Russia's capacity to wage the war. The effect on European economy is limited because we have diversified our energy resources. So ministers asked also for a fast progress on the next round of sanctions. We have said, many countries have said if Russia does not agree to full and unconditional ceasefire, there will be more pressure, and of course working on the next package of sanctions is the pressure we can put. We also discussed the contributions to security guarantees given to Ukraine, and what more can we do also on the European level in this regard. Second discussion was about European defense. EU leaders have set out the priority areas. Now we have to translate these into real capabilities. And we have put forward proposals also how to find funding and how to really increase the leverage that the member states can use, the financial leverage. And also the discussion was about how we can work together and how we can also do the procurements together. And we need the progress by June European Council. Just to remind you, it is also together with NATO's summit. And I'm also pleased to announce that the 5,000 European troops, part of the EU's rapid deployment capacity, are now operational. And this will allow Europe to act faster when crises erupt. Then, third, we had a very, very intensive discussion on the Middle East. The situation in Gaza is catastrophic. The aid that Israel has allowed in is, of course, welcomed, but it's a drop in the ocean. Aid must flow immediately without obstruction and at scale, because this is what is needed. I've made these points also with my talks with Israelis. Also, I've had talks with UN and the regional leaders as well. Pressure is necessary to change the situation. It is clear from today's discussion that there is a strong majority in favor of review of Article 2 of our association agreement with Israel. So we will launch this exercise. And in the meantime, it is up to Israel to unblock the humanitarian aid. Saving lives must be our top priority. On Syria, ministers agreed to lift all economic sanctions while maintaining those related to Assad regime and human rights violations. This decision is reversible and conditional also on progress. There can be no peace without the path to economic recovery, and we all need a stable Syria. Is everything really ideal there? No, it is not. It's very clear, but I think we need to give the Syrian people a chance. Then we also discussed the situation in Daesh camps, in addition to ongoing fight, work with the fight to radicalization. A financial package worth of 18 million euro will go towards improving the conditions in the camps. And finally, in a time of growing, unfiltered content, independent journalism is more important than ever. And that's why I'm pleased to announce that we are preparing a 5.5 million euro contract with the European Endowment for Democracy, and this will support the vital work of Radio Free Europe. It's a short-term emergency funding designed for the safety net for the independent journalism. So I'm happy to take your questions now.
Thank you, High Representative. We will start over there, Olivier AFP.
Thank you, HRGP. Olivier Beau from AFP, Agence France Presse. European leaders keep saying that they want to strengthen sanctions against Russia. Some of them even mentioned massive sanctions. You mentioned the 17th package, but we all know that this package has been in discussion a long time ago, way before the necessity of imposing more sanctions was raised by some leaders. So could you give us some more details on this sanction? What kind of sanction could be really a game changer for Russia? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It is true that the 17 package was already in process, but it's not a long-time process, because if you think about, I think our last package was in February, so if I remember correctly, and now we are in May, next package now. Yes, the announcements of countries to say that to put more pressure on Russia after it is clear that they are not wanting peace and do not agree to unconditional ceasefire. We have to put more pressure on Russia. It was last week, and then it is something that we are working on. So, what is the most the strongest of this package is, of course, energy. The oil price cap is clearly something that has a clear effect on Russia's economy. There are, President von der Leyen has pointed out also what is there regarding Nord Stream. It's more for the future. That is true. There are also discussions about banking services. So, but I think the most important is the oil price cap, really, because what we heard today from the intelligence as well was that, Russia's economy is not doing well. And, so far they have been able to cover this with propaganda, saying that, economy is rising actually, and there's nothing to see here. But now they can't even cover it with the propaganda anymore. And they are saying that it's in stagnation. So energy is a big part of the Russia's national fund, which is almost completely depleted. So if we can put more pressure there, then it would be also the pressure that might help to end this war.
العربية نوردين.
نوردين فريدي العربية. Madam High Representative, about the decision on Syria, do we understand that in your view Syria is in the right direction, the right track? And this decision of lifting the sanction, is it also a consequence of the historical one that Mr. Trump took last week in Riyadh? And about Israel, is there any deadline for the reviewing the association agreement, let's say next FAC or...
Thank you. First, on Syria, like I said, is everything going very well? No, it's not. But I think the question that we have two choices. Either we give Syrian people a chance that they have services, they have jobs, and their salaries could be paid, so that there is less radicalization in Syria. Or we don't give that opportunity, and then we also don't have any say on the human rights and all the issues that actually worry us. What comes to Syria, I think we have been very well cooperating with our regional partners, also because they have their eyes and ears on the ground, also whether these things are going to the right direction or not. And when we all keep together, I think we can have a lot of influence. And when it comes to your other question, then, I must say that we as the European Union are not as good as selling all these decisions we have made, because you have been here in the press room as well, and you know that we have been working on a relief of sanctions already from January. So we did the first package then. I think it was February, but I might be wrong. But anyway, in the beginning of the year, and we have been working on the technical details. It's true, in European Union it takes much more time because we are 27. We have very intensive discussions. It is maybe easier in some countries when you only have one person who makes the decisions. But I think I'm proud that we have been able to reach agreement today. On the association agreement, the review. We are, launching this exercise, and in the meantime, really hoping that the humanitarian aid is unblocked and the situation will become better. Thank you.
Thank you, Vitaly.
Thank you, Vitaly Sizov, UATV Freedom. Yesterday, President of United States, Trump, said that he does not want to impose new sanctions against Russia, but today you adopted new package of sanctions. Ukrainian minister and his EU colleagues said that it's very important to coordinate sanction policy with the United States. Was your decision today coordinated with Washington, and do you coordinate sanction with the United States? On top of this, what do you think about the sanction initiative spearheaded by U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham? Thank you.
Thank you. I think first we are coordinating with a lot of partners outside European Union also, because then we have a stronger pressure if everybody agrees and wants to really end this war. So we are cooperating and coordinating with a lot of partners. What comes to the proposal by Senator Graham, I think it's a very strong proposal, and it shows that also there are people thinking the similar way in United States. Thank you.
Jorge, over there.
Jorge Libareiro with Euronews. Hello, High Representative. 2 questions. First one on Russia. You have received a letter from 15 member states asking you to renew relations with Russia's closest allies, and one of these is, of course, China. There's a lot of speculation lately about a possible reset of EU-China relations. Do you support this possible reset, and do you think the conditions are right for it? And just second on Israel, the decision to launch the review. Can you tell us a bit more how many member states were in favor? What are the next steps? What's the time frame? And if you think it's a political signal strong enough? Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your question. First on China. We have the discussion on China coming on up in June in Foreign Affairs Council. So I would not run ahead of the curve here, but really try to listen the positions of member states on China, because we are in this turbulent and changing world, and we need to listen what are the views around the table to put together really a common position. And then what comes to the association agreement and the discussion around that, I will not say numbers and I will not say member states, but I can say it was a huge majority for this. I think what it tells is that the countries see that the situation in Gaza is untenable, and what we want is to really help the people, and what we want is to unblock the humanitarian aid so that it will reach the people there. It is, the trucks are behind the borders. There are thousands of trucks, and like I said, the 100 trucks that came in, it's a welcome step, but it's not enough because the needs are much bigger. These humanitarian aid is very much financed by the European Union, and that's why the member states are also very keen on sending this message that the suffering of the people is untenable. Thank you.
The lady, fourth row, yes.
Tatiana Vysotska, European Pravda, Ukraine. I would like to come back to 18th package of sanctions. What is your prediction when it may be adopted? You said fast track. You said it will be quick. Will it be during the Polish presidency or Danish presidency? Because if it will be strong, some countries, some member states may block it. As, for example, Hungary is blocking Ukrainian accession. And this is my second question. It's not the topic of the discussion, but today in the morning we saw Marta Kos, who also participated in the meeting, and she was talking about the necessity of opening the first cluster with Ukraine. Are there any news? What did you discuss with Marta Kos? And maybe Hungary is, moving forward in this question, or no?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. The work is already ongoing, but can I tell when we will be ready? I can't tell it now. And I can't also, it always is. One member state is, this is not going. The other one is saying, we need to find something else. So it's always very intense debates, and I can't estimate how long it will take. But if the necessity and need from the member states is there to move fast, to send a strong signal, to put the pressure that also Russia wants to end this war, then we need to move fast. On enlargement, there were many member states around the table who were pointing out that we need to move on with the enlargement and unblock the opening of clusters. So we are working on that, and definitely Enlargement Commissioner is doing a great job. Thank you.
The gentleman over there. Yes.
Hello, Victor Emelin from Swedish News Agency. Just coming back to the association agreement and the discussion on Middle East. Were there any discussions on sanctions against the Israeli ministers, for instance, or settlers or anything else? Thank you.
Yes, the sanctions on settlers, we have, it's prepared. We have had those discussions, but unfortunately, it was blocked by one member state. Thank you.
Maybe last question, we'll go for the lady with the green suit. Excuse me, Mike, please, for the lady with the green suit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Valentina Vasileva, Vodtak. So my question is about oil cap. Today, Andrei Sibiga asked for decreases oil cap till $30 per barrel. Now it's 60. Before Reuters, I think, wrote that EU wants to decrease it till $50. Do you think it's realistic without the United States? How realistic do you think it is? And if you can a little bit elaborate about help for Radio Free Europe, how will it work when they will receive this money and etc. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oil price cap. Just recall when we first agreed the oil price cap, the agreement was between all the parties that it will be, if the market price goes down, then it is always lower than the market price. That was the initial agreement by all parties. Now, when the price actually got down, we didn't do this step of having it lowered. The discussions, and then we had the US also on board. Right now, I know that in this big package of sanctions that the Senate is preparing, it's also the oil price cap. So the necessity is there. But can I predict how it is going? I can't, because the work is ongoing. And on Radio Free Europe, if we look at the total amount of funding that they have for operating all across the globe, then it's clear that Europe can't step in with all this funding that is necessary. So our focus should be really to help Radio Free Europe to work and function in those countries that are in our neighborhood and that are very much dependent on news coming from outside on Radio Free Europe, whether it's Caucasus, whether it's Central Asia. So to have it functioning, like I said, it is the short-term financing, and we need also member states to come in to find solutions for the long-term financing. But when we had the discussion with the commissioners, external affairs commissioners, also about the foreign aid withdrawal by United States and where we step in, the discussion was about being strategic, and we gathered from the member states what are the strategic areas where we come in with the European money, because we can't fill the void with everything. And one of those was free media. So this goes in line with those understandings from the member states. Good.
Thank you. This concludes our press conference. We will be back here tomorrow after the ministerial with the African Union. So have a nice evening. Thank you very much.